What up? What up? All right, let's double check. Look at that. Live as a mofo. All right. Oh, Kimball, was that a thumbs up from you? I feel honored. Thank you. I needed it too. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you. Mr. Jake the Great. Thank you. I know I can always count on you, Kimball. I'll take the interaction, any level of interaction. Thank you, brothers, and possibly sisters out there. According to our analytics, like 0.7%. Oh. So I had something. What up, Dark Lord Demander? What's up, Faith? Thirsty Cult, what's cracking, brother? Chris, what up? Hell yeah. Yeah, I may Dark Lord Commander DLC. Not bad. I like it. Mike Honcho, what up, CRS? So I had something happen. John Rice, you're not late, brother. I just started. I know the schedule's a little off this week, guys, because the holiday. I apologize. My apologies. What's up, brother? Yeah, it's just with the holiday and like with catching up on some, business associated stuff. It's been a little challenging. And then in the evening, like I'll hop on Discord and get on voice chat, and then all of a sudden it'll be 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, what? Like, how did I completely like ignore streaming going live? What's up, Shred? Master Shredder? I end up ignoring going live to, but it's good because I get interaction with the viewers and it's awesome. But so something happened, and I felt completely powerless and terrified, and it's not anything like super tough guy shit. It's not anything like, uh, I guess the only way to like say it is just to like, tell the story. Yeah, you're not lying, Joe. Shiver me timbers. Okay, I'll be nice, Space Texan. Hello, sister Space Texan. No pug. That's all. Whoa! What, bro? Dude, what? I'm like baffled. I was not expecting that at all. Holy shit. Chris, thank you. Damn. Chris, thank you for all you do, man. Have a nice dinner with Mrs. Dark on me. Brother, man, thank you. That's crazy. You're balling out, buying boats. Everybody show Chris some love, man. That's huge, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I don't even know, like, there's no way to like say thank you enough for that. Like, that's crazy. Chris drives a Maserati, obviously. Seriously, man, like, I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. And Bacon, what's up, brother? With that 223, Geez, was wondering if I was gonna have to call you. I know, man. I know. Uh, Sport brand, Chris Carter. What a fucking. Oh, I thought it said what a. How stupid. Sorry. What a stud. Um. Ooh, salvage title vet. Hey. Did he save you from having to sell feet pics? See, this is why I come on with you guys, man. You guys, literally the best community out there, man. Like I could never, ever, like even imagine having a better community than you guys, man. This is, and not like the money. I'm just saying, like you guys brighten my whole fucking day, man. Um, oh, nice, dude. I would love some AR, wooden AR furniture, like for real. Um, Like, I want to. What's up, Game Over? What's up, brother? We are a cult community. Yeah, we're pretty tight. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to, if you've ever seen the Battle Arms Development tanker, the like bazooka green gun with the wood furniture. Woo! That thing is money. We used to be called Duganites. What's our new name? I don't know. We've gone through a few transitions. We've had the Duganites, the Branch Duginians. Um, I don't know. I mean, like the glowy thing was a joke, right? Because it's like making a play on everyone's a Fed. Um, Meet with a canine from the SO today. Is that a good thing? Um, I'm not in any cult, so exclude me. I just learned, yeah, it's all jokes, it's all satire, it's all said in jest, and yeah. Um, okay, but let's have a serious conversation. So today I had something pretty crazy happen. If you guys have ever been in like a moment where everything disappears and there is only that one thing going on, like, so I was sitting at the table with my wife and daughter and we were having dinner, and my daughter can't stay in her seat, like, you know for the life of her. um, so she comes around the table and she comes to my side, and she said something, and I'm the dad that like always plays around, always plays jokes, like always busts chops, and like you know like slide my finger under her armpit and like start tickling her like for no reason, like I just do weird shit like that, man. I'm the unpredictable dad that makes stupid jokes, and you know um, that's just kind of who I am. And so my daughter came up, and she's small, she's 4, and she said something, and I was like, "What'd you say?" And she said it again, and I can't remember exactly what she was saying, but I was like, "Come closer, I can't hear you." And she was holding like food in her hand, and I was like, "Come closer, what'd you say? What'd you say?" And as soon as she came in within arm's reach, I yoked her up, and I like grabbed her and hugged her, and I was like, "Ooh," and I was like, just being funny. And I didn't realize that she had food in her mouth, and I was making her laugh a lot. So through like during this time when this is happening, she goes and inhales the food that was in her mouth, and I see her kind of like stop, and she's like, and then she starts coughing, and I kind of like pat her back, and she is okay. She is okay now. So thank you for asking. Um, but I just kind of was patting her back. I was like, "You okay, honey?" And she kept coughing, and I was pat her back a little bit harder, and I was like, "Hey, it's okay. Take a breath." And I see her go like this, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And I look at her, and like it took a few seconds to realize she can't breathe. And immediately I started patting her back, and she started coughing, and I was like, "Oh, she'll just cough it up." And patting her back, patting her back, patting her back. And I go behind her and I go to do the Heimlich, and we're already like 15 to 20 seconds in. Okay. So, all you guys watching right now, hold your breath for 15 to 20 seconds. Okay. Um, and then I, put my hands under her like sternum and between her ribs, which I believe to be the appropriate way to do this from when I was like trained as a kid. And I start, you know, lifting her up, doing the Heimlich, and I can feel that I'm like gonna break her ribs. Like I literally like felt like I was gonna break her ribs. Um, and I was just like, fuck it. So I literally scooped her up, turned her upside down, and just whack, 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 started whacking her back. And I was like, okay, like this will get it out. And I turn her up. So now we're 35, 45 seconds into it. And I turn her around and I look at her, and she's going like this, like trying to gasp for air, and she can't. Her whole face is red, and the sides of her are starting to have a tinge of blue. And I lost it. I was yelling to my wife to call 911, and swung her upside down again. And I just beat the piss out of her back while swinging her upside down. And I saw, I turned her back again and looked at her, and I could see like it was starting to break up, but she was getting like a little bit of air, but it still was not like, you know, like she was still like in serious duress. And I did the same thing again, turned her upside down, and just started whack, 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 turn her back up. We're talking like almost a full minute. And I just see all this food and milk and everything just, and then she's coughing food up, and I can see, and, I see like, dude, she finally like came to it, and I saw the color just wash back into her, like, and then she just started like bawling, and we hugged, and I felt so bad because like it was me, like I was the one that did that, like just from like fucking around. And it seems like silly, right? Like it's just food, like it's just food, it's just my daughter, like, but kids die every single day um over shit like that. And I just like, I don't cry. Like I've cried like probably 3 times in the last like 15 years. And I literally just bawled and was like hugging her. And man, in that moment, every single thing in the world disappeared other than that. That was it. That was and I am not new to like high stress situations, high stress environments. And thank you guys. Love y'all. Thank you. Um, and like I've been in situations where, I've had, tunnel vision and kind of have to snap out of it, and, where you control your adrenaline as much as you can and still be effective, focusing on something while there's chaos. And I don't know, there's just something like in that moment, like everything was gone. Nothing else existed except telling my wife to call 911. And thank you, Sugar Tits. My last girlfriend had a son drown at 2 years old. Oh my God. One of my best friends lost his son at 6 months old to meningitis. Like one of the most exceptionally rare situations and encounters that you could like ever imagine. And they literally watched him go like one organ at a time. And like that's something that like stuck with me forever, is going to a funeral with a casket that's this big. Like, mm, yeah. So I'm for those of you that have experienced losses like that, I'm so sorry. And you know, I didn't like want to like get to that, but of course, like that was my ultimate fear. Like nothing would have stopped me from like her survival. Period. Nothing. So I'm like reflecting on it, and I'm just thinking like, God, like I could have lost her to table food. You know, yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, yeah, that shit's painful, and like just from me being that dad, you know, like I just wanted to hug her. You know, thank you. So that happened, and I mean, there's still risk. Even like right now, there's still risk. Like, there's issues like with, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of like dry drowning. Like if kids take in water and then they like are okay and then go to bed and they like die in their sleep, food particles and shit like that. Like, just, I'm not saying like I think that's going to happen. Like I believe she is okay and that she is safe now and everything's fine. Um, but thanks, Tucson. I appreciate it. But it made me realize like, and this is going to seem really weird relating the two. Okay, so bear with me. In utter chaos, doing anything that you can do to make sure your family, thank you, Shred. Yeah, dry drowning is for sure a thing. And parents are typically like unaware of, don't beat yourself up for it though. I understand it's traumatic, but we have to look at the positive. She's okay and you saved her. You're a great father. Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Um, if you're in like pure chaos, okay, and your only focus is to make sure that your family survives, and in our community, we keep talking about like it's time for a civil war. Like it's time to fight. The lines have been crossed. Like there's like, are you prepared to live in that moment, like that 60-second moment for your entire life or for the rest of your life? Like if you make it, like with that horse blinder vision of fear and trauma and pain, and I don't know. It a bunch of things are going through my head, right? Like, what's up, Freedom? Everybody show Freedom some love. Like in that moment, like all the stupid bullshit that we focus on. And I know on this channel, like we talk about a lot. I know a lot of y'all like have already woken up to the bullshit, right? But I'm just saying from a standpoint of normies, right? Like, you know, in that in that moment, like, you're hold on. Um hold on. Okay, never mind. She's 4. So like in that moment, everything else disappeared. Like the stupid bullshit consumerism disappeared. Rules, laws, regulations, reason, everything disappeared. My income disappeared. My like all the stupid shit that we worry about every single day was gone. Because guess what? When it comes to the true value of human life, like there's no, like all this shit that we're being programmed with to focus on is is all fucking garbage. It's bullshit. And it's almost like we're getting programmed to ignore like true human, like the valuing of human life and human nature. And, you know, I don't know. It was just kind of a reality check because, like, I'm looking at that moment. Okay. You have an element of chaos, you have an element of fear, you have an element of fighting, willingness to fight, you have an element of, I don't know, it's like, it was just a reality check of like, damn, that's a world that, you know, I don't desire to live in, and all the other stupid bullshit that we're programmed to focus on every single day. Um, so my tonight my daughter choked and was without oxygen for almost a full minute, and we thank you, Faith, appreciate it. You too. Take care. Um, I was able to, like get her like good, but we may have to go back and watch. But it's yeah, she's good. She's okay. She's healthy. But it was a terrifying minute, you know. That's all. So, and I know it's something so innocent, right? Like, okay, your daughter choked on table food, right? Like, we're not talking about like, you know, going over with a plate carrier and full battle rattle, but the similarity of, again, chaos, fear, willingness to fight, like questioning survival. It's it's some deep shit, man. And I think a lot of a lot of the people that are glorifying living in a world like that have no idea what it's like to live through. I'm not saying, if you haven't lived through your child choking on table food, like that's not what I'm talking about, right? What's up, Gordon? Um, I don't know. It just kind of woke me up to, you know, being grateful for for her being okay, being grateful for um, the world that we're in. However, with everything else, yeah, what really matters. Um, yeah, I feel you, man. I've had a gang of near-death experiences, man. Actually, if you've and I've never served, like, I was never in the military or anything, but if you've ever had a bullet whiz by you and hear that sound and feel that energy, woo, nothing tightens up those butt cheeks like you know, like a projectile flying past your ass. Um, yeah, I don't know, just kind of made me think about things. That's all. But despite being in a world of, you know, being fed the illusion of freedom, being in a world where we're programmed and reprogrammed to live a life of consumerism and superficial bullshit, and to be basically on the tit of the government and not even know it, to have, full control given to someone else, um, and not know it and not be aware, not have control of your own water, your own food. You're there, and there is, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to get all dark and all this. I'm what I am saying, what I mean to say. I'm sorry. I'm grateful that she's great. I'm grateful that she's healthy. I'm grateful that I'm grateful that she's great. I mean, I'm grateful that she's like, you know, okay from the situation. Um, and despite all the downfalls of it, I'm grateful for the world that we're in right now, even if it's coated with bullshit and it's, as someone we all know would say, a shit sandwich. I had a worse than whiz pass me. Hunting accident with my younger brother. I took a round of 410 to the chest. It sucked, but I only hung alone now. Holy shit. Damn, bro. In Florida, two kids, age 11 and 14, shot at cops with an AK and other pointed shotgun. 14-year-old dead. That happens out in the city a lot, out in DC. Um, if you look at it from a realistic standpoint, has anyone glorified anything? No one wants anyone to have to fight. Hell, everyone I have ever heard would much rather to just be able to live their lives. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm talking about like the bullshit like you hear on you know on like online communities. Like I know like a lot of the memes and shit are um, like said in jest and their satire, but that situation just kind of like made me think. Um, Now, don't get me wrong, like and maybe I should have thought of this differently, because due to recent events on YouTube, Like what I'm saying here has nothing to do with anything else that has gone on over the past few days, because like I'm in my own world here in the middle and all that. So I don't want that to look like there's um it just made me think like, you know, I don't know how to describe it. Is definitely a reality check, like for sure, and just understanding like the fragility of life, right? Like we don't value human life as we used to. I don't think. Hold up. Okay. But there are so many communities that are still relying on the pen, and those glorifying war or mood. They will use pens and sit behind the keyboard until something touches them personally. Then they will cry. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I know it. Yeah, no, I know. And I don't like, as I'm saying this, I'm like choosing my words carefully because like this, what I'm mentioning, like from the incident with my daughter choking and shit, like, what's up, Alex Bistoso? Um, I don't want you or anyone to think that this live stream is in alignment with anything else that's happened. This is just a realization that I came to. But damn, man, in that moment, like I was shook. We value it too much. We have been led to believe that my life is so important, when in the big scheme of things, it isn't. Life is meaningless if it means that you are free. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I mean, in a conversation earlier, it was like, you know, though some people do glorify it, I think a lot of people do it more jokingly, um, because it's like, how else do you deal with something like so horrific? Like it's you got to deal with it with dark humor. Um, but that's some scary shit, man. Like seeing her blue in the face, man. Like, oh man, that shit was terrifying. And like, of course, like in the moment when I'm like sitting there hanging her upside down, beating on her back, like doing everything I can do to get it out of her. I'm like, afterwards, like my wife was like, "You saved her life," and I was like I wasn't even like thinking that. I was just like, "Get the food out, get the food out." Like that was it, you know. Yeah, medical training is so fucking important, man. I actually just got an email prior to getting on here of one of our community members, one of our viewers, who actually went out and after the conversation that we had, watched the Stop the Bleed class, because a lot of places, like you can typically go to like a fire station or like places like that locally that have classes and shit, and actually take a stop the bleed class in person, and then of course a lot of other like um, training companies do that shit, but um, yeah, that's wildly important. The Heimlich, like just the basic shit, like you know we're so dependent on others, right? Like in that moment when my daughter was already a minute deep without oxygen, and I realized the severity of it and that I may not be able to save her, and I told my wife, dial 911 right now. I'm looking at like where I'm at, like 7 minutes, best case scenario. she would have passed out, and we all know the direction, like, from there, Oh, for sure, it's by design. It's, yeah, I stayed calm in the like during the time that I was like I had one goal. It was the only thing that existed in the world at that moment, and I just assessed, right? Like in that moment, it was attempt, assess, attempt, assess, attempt, assess, and then after I saved her, she was my daughter again. And that probably sounds really crazy to say, but I had one goal, I had one outcome that was going to happen. I was going to get the food out of her throat, period. Right. And honestly, like, I had other backup options that had already gone through my head if that didn't work. There's some things that you can do that open up airways. Hold on, I missed something up there. The human body is resilient. As long as you stay calm and assess the situation, there's far better chance of coming out good. For sure. That was, I mean, I still was freaking out, but, I think with the situation the way that it was, I was as calm as I could be. My mom got grabbed through a gate by her dealer's pit bull. Her reaction, laughter. My family is as nuts as me. Yeah. Actually, my buddy saved his pit. Uh, he's got like a 50, 55 pound. I think it's technically like an English bull terrier or something, and that's why you the hefe. Oh, dang. And Pitt's a lot of the time, like I had a brindle Pitt. He was like 75 pounds, man. He was the coolest fucking dog in the world. And when they're messing with like Chewy toys, they have this thing where like they like, and it may not be exclusive to Pitts, right? It's my only experience with dogs, but they have this thing where they do like surgery on the animal. They will remove the squeaky thing from whatever toy or animal or whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Underwear is to protect your pants from your ass. I don't think my pants are in that much danger. Um, People freak out when I was on the scene when dude got shot. It was me calm, my wife freaking until I got her focus, and 30 people freaking out or filming. Yeah, people don't know what to do. They a lot of times they film just because they see that's what other people do, and they want to be able to like psychologically process it later. I think it's interesting because monkey see, monkey do, but we were talking in Discord and voice chat and about a particular shooting where an individual that I would consider to be a clean shoot had to defend himself against 3 people in a particular place with particular fires and stuff. The first dude that got hit, all of his friends were leaning over him with devices and they were filming him. And somebody had said, like, that has got to be the worst way to go out. Like, literally laying out with you falling out, your organs failing, you leaking all over the place, and you looking up helplessly at a group of people that are sitting there holding their devices, pointing at you like this, like, or putting a tourniquet around your neck. It's ridiculous. Hold on, I may have to step away for 2 minutes. Gerchop, you already knew what I was talking about. Yeah, but the whole shit with like us being programmed for other people to save us was like, even somebody like me who's dedicated so much of my life to preparing to some level, and I've not covered it all, right? Like I'm still on the journey just like y'all are, and give her a hug. That's what got me in the situation. I'm just kidding. No, you're right. You're right. It was yeah. They are gonna nail him to the wall because they know no one will take a stand for him. Yeah, they'll nail him to the wall, or he'll be suicided. With all the time, energy, effort, training, everything, medical training, and medical was probably one of my biggest needs recently, and luckily with some help from others, I've like stepped that up big time. But the choking thing was something that I just didn't have down, and I know the Heimlich, and I know some other ways of getting air to the to the human body, but damn, like, yeah, that shit was crazy, man. It made me realize that like there's no time to like stop training, right? Like there's no time to stop getting information. Like I have a responsibility regardless of what world we live in, whether it's the world that we live in now, or a world without rule of law, or like whatever. Like you may be able like be at the restaurant and save someone's fucking life that just laughed during like taking a bite, like something so simple, something so silly, something so like 45 cents worth of a steak and a giggle can murk your ass. So yeah, training is wildly important. So shout out to Tucson, who hit me up saying he was watching the Stop the Bleed class. That's a big deal, and it's something that any of you got. Yeah, and of course, like taking classes. Now that the karate cold bullshit is, most places are opening back up pretty pretty regularly. I don't know wherever. Dark. It's been almost a decade since I've gotten for training. Maybe we can look into a medical person on the stream soon. That's actually one of the things I was thinking of too. Being able to get someone on here that can talk about some. You know what? I'm gonna. So we got a really interesting area where I live. Hang on. And I'm like thinking like, could I go to like one of the EMTs? And yeah, I thought of Skinny Medic too. He's great. But that's so that, like, even like me, like, I'm slipping on, you know, my, like, responsibility for myself to protect my family and myself and others too. Dr. Gordon. We actually do have someone in our community that is in the medical world, and right now they are not in a position where it would be a good idea to stream. So I've already spoken with them. They're just Gordon Freeman. If you want a real med kit, go to Farming Supplies. You can get staple, guns, everything medical grade. Interesting. Yeah. Who are you and what are your intentions? Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get Skinny Medic on here because he's a good dude. You know, he's not like money minded. He's um, um, based is a good thing. Freedom Inc. Um, based means like you're like aware. You're your logic is based on reality. Your based is like good shit, right? So if you say something and someone's like, "Damn, that's based," that means it's like good shit, bro. Um, I'm interested in grid down medical. Only medic I even want to be in the situation I had to see would be gonorrhea. No, yeah, that's interesting. I haven't heard that. Base means you basically don't care what people think about your opinion. She worked in the trauma unit for a couple of years before she started doing the traveling nurse thing. All right, y'all. Give me literally about 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes max. I need to just run upstairs real quick. You guys stay in the chat. What's up, Opie? Um, oh, I thought I said didn't know where you live. I was like, what? Um, yeah, stay in the chat. Talk amongst yourselves. If I were a teacher, I'd be like, I'll just put on a video for a minute. Um, let me run upstairs for 2 minutes and I'll be right back. All right. Oh, snap. What's up, Common Courtesy? What's up, brother? Give me 1 to 2 minutes, y'all. I'll be right back. We got 51 people in here right now. Okay. There better be 51 people here when I get back. I'll be 1 to 2 minutes, y'all. I'll be right back. Whew. Sorry, y'all. I got tinnitus and the silence is driving my ears crazy. Play some elevator music. I should have put some music on before before I went out. My bad, man. I had to run and do something real quick. But yeah, man, it's crazy, man. We got to make sure that we take full self responsibility in you know our abilities, training, capabilities. Like too much at risk, man. Way too much at risk. Johnny Wasser, that's a dope ass name. I'm there to camp and fish and hike. Hike. When silent, I just hear. Bury that log like a pro with the scooper. It was a belated surprise. What? Feet are based. You all seen that meme that says in 2021, I only respond by saying based or cringe. Feet burger. What the hell were y'all talking about? Can we get more likes than people? Interesting question. Yeah. Discussed poop while you were out. Ah, good. Because of what happened, you should demand faster first responders. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, personal responsibility is gone, it's out the window. It's like, you know, hearing my neighbor complain about their, Amazon package not being delivered the same day, you know. I don't know, Dark. I thought it was my job to derail the chat. But you do it in a very creative way, okay? You do it in a way that's like still like you troll in line with what we're discussing in a way, so it's funny. Um, so you got to respect it because it's taking some creativity in there. I think I have an idea. Give me 1 second. Whoa. Oh, never mind. So much for that idea. How about this? Here's what I'll do. That's all I want. I just want to be left. So Opie said, I demand the government to leave me the fuck alone. I don't ask for much. I just want to be left the fuck alone. So here, I'll throw an invitation out here. Anybody that should they desire, Jay-Z, what's up, brother? Hold on, I feel like I missed something. Thank you, Johnny Wasser. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on comments, y'all. That's why there's the silence here. Why I'm just like looking at the comments. Popcorn necklaces. I desire ear necklaces. No, I'm just kidding. So in the Discord, if you hop on voice chat and come in, I'll throw you on and be you could be have an open dialogue with anybody here in chat and me and all that. Freedom, do you have the Discord, access to the Discord? It'd be kind of a pain in the ass. Um, I'll get you set up for next time. You'd have to download the shit and make a login and fucking. Then I'd have to. It would be a pain in the ass. Don't let me in the Discord. Did he really, John Rice? That is some shit. I was on VC earlier for once, but all that was happening was banging around working on the mill. How about more show and tell firearm picks? Oh, the show and tell firearm picks were dope. That was definitely dope. Yeah, if you have Discord, I mean, it definitely is like an app that you gotta like navigate around for a while. Hold on, let me send you the invite. Where the fuck is it? My voice too screechy for that. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm glad you came. Oh, Freedom, that thing that you sent me, like was that like directed towards you or just people like you or we don't have to talk about it now. I was just just realized I forgot to get back to you on that. And by the way, I'm super bad about that, right? So if I ever like don't respond or forget to respond or have like a significant delay in my response, it's not you, it's me. You can ask like Armitage and Goy. I'm looking at a text right now where I text not your average Goy or just your average Goy. I'm not sure what he's changed his name to now. And it's like on Tuesday, we're setting up a phone call at a certain time, and it's Thursday night, and I still did not call him Tuesday night. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm working on it. All right, I'm getting better, making progress every day. Damn, nobody wants to hop on voice chat, man. Come on. Dude, trying to get all my friends to move out the US before the COVID passports are mandatory. Jay-Z, man, I'll tell you right now that there's nowhere is going to be safe. What's up, Crumpy? Yeah, guys, I am actually having John Crump on the show that's coming up Saturday, and we gotta take her. We gotta take her, gentlemen. Can you hear me? Do a little audio check.
Oh yeah, what's up?
What up? Can you guys hear him okay?
No, man, just living it. Enjoying my hiatus, not so hiatus from my YouTube.
Oh yeah, you were supposed to be taking a hiatus, right?
Yeah. Then all the stuff happened the past couple days, and I kind of got thrown in the middle of that. So I'm on true hiatus now. Though.
How long are you doing a hiatus for?
I don't know, man. Probably until we get out of Ohio. Probably until we head to Tennessee at least. I keep getting like some weird text messages and stuff, and it's just time to chill out. People are angry. You know, they're just not ready for freedom, man. So I'm just gonna chill with my goal for a minute and just try to get this house done and move forward. And plus, man, it takes so much time. You know, even if you're only on it, you know, a few minutes here and there a day, I'd listen to it a lot rather than listen to the radio station or anything.
Yeah.
But it's just like a bit major distraction. So it things causes a bunch of drama. Turns into drama. I'm not even talking about the last couple days, just in general.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm glad your daughter's okay then, man.
Thank you, man. That shit was scary as hell. Is somebody like trying to like fuck with you like in real life?
Well, I mean, not somebody we'll say, I'll talk to you about it.
Okay.
I'll give you a call, talk to you about it or something. You give me a call whenever you get a chance.
Okay. All right.
And,
Yeah.
you know, like my home address is for anybody can find my home address in like 3 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not somebody that I would give a shit on that would find my home address just as like some random dude.
Yeah.
But, so it is what it is. But like I said, it's I need a break anyway, man. Cause it's just getting. I don't know. I'm honestly to the point where I realized a few weeks ago that for the most part, is a blanket statement. People are just content and servitude, and they're free to go to work. But they don't realize in order to go to work, they have to pay a 30% tax. You know what I mean? Like they're just not capable of putting two and two together yet.
Yeah.
You know, it causes more problems right now than I had time for. So just time, man. It made a big deal.
I think the biggest challenge is the illusion of freedom, right? You know, like right now, these people believe, yeah, like they have access to everything. Everything works. They got all the water they need, all the food they need. They, you know, get their groceries delivered to them. They, you know, they're living in this world where they feel like they have control. And
Right.
like,
And I'm sorry to interrupt you. They confused convenience for freedom.
yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Like, you know, just like I said about your daughter, you know, tell them that, you know, where's the first responders at? They need to hurry up. Like, people just, at one time in communities, everybody had a job. You know what I mean? Like, everybody had not only like their job and taking care of themselves, but, you know, you had the preacher's wife that was a school teacher, or the seamstress's husband who was the doctor. Like, everybody had a position right in the community, and everybody was close knit. They drew this big wedge in the communities through technology, mainly. And like, it's just not there anymore. You know, you gotta make a phone call and wait 10 minutes for somebody to get there to help you solve an issue that, if things were so convenient, you would probably know already anyway. You know, a lot of people's daughters would have died tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean?
that's one of the things that I thought of, was that most people would have like waited a little bit, dialed 911 and done nothing, and literally waited 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 12 minutes. And yeah, I mean, imagine a 4-year-old going that long without air. Like you said, our bodies are resilient, but dude, that's a death sentence, man.
When millions of people are aborting their own children, of course they're not going to, like, here's the problem with modern day society in general. I went to the supermarket today, and it's just the way people treat their kids in modern society. It is absolutely horrendous. It's terrible. And not only that, it's the fact that, like you were saying, the vast majority of people would rather call 911 and wait, 7, 8, 10 minutes instead of actually having the courage to help their children. Because that is one thing society is lacking in general, is good parenting and courage.
I agree with that, but do you think it's that, or do you think that people they've had so much comfort, they don't have, my thing is, when something happens, the first thing you got to do is stay calm, period.
Yes.
Even if you don't know what to do, stay calm, because getting all riled up and shit doesn't do anything. So do you think that it's that, or do you think it's that people have had so little experiences with things like that they don't know how to handle them when they do have it?
Well, it might be a mixture of both, to be honest with you, because the vast majority of people, they have not had any hardships in their life. And, the Greek philosophers, specifically, I think, I forgot which one, but, there's this quote you can look up. Basically, hardness, or having difficulty in your life is actually a good thing. because it builds your character up, and it gives you courage. And the vast majority of people have not challenged themselves. And we see this a lot in Japan, for example. I believe the term is hikikomori. Vast numbers of people in Japan are starting to basically lock themselves out of society and just play video games all day and just check out. And you can see this a lot. It's starting to happen a lot more frequently in the West as well. So an entire generation of people are being born and are living, and they do not have the necessary skills to even save their own children if they were to possibly choke on a food item. It's very sad, very depressing.
It is what it is. Tough, man. Well, we're seeing it happen here today.
Hard times. Well, you know the saying, it's hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. And we are in the last phase of that saying.
Cycle. Yeah, it's a slow deterioration of, personal responsibility, self-reliance, self-sustainability, and the most, core items that you need to sustain life. We have abandoned those things willingly for convenience.
Yes, absolutely. I think you guys were talking about earlier, somebody said something in the nature of convenience does not equal freedom. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? Because I see this a lot you'll see this a lot with the libertarian movement in general. I used to be a libertarian when I was younger. I went through that little phase, and I still have a tremendous respect for Ron Paul, and I think a lot of people do as well. But the problem with libertarianism is they confuse comfort and convenience with freedom, and that's the same thing that the leftists do as well. And you can see this a lot when it comes to the consumerist nature of society.
Are you talking about libertarian 2021 libertarian?
Yes, 2021 libertarian.
Okay.
Yes, because the thing about it is the entire Libertarian Party has drastically changed from the time of, when Ron Paul was running for president. That was like the peak. That was, in my opinion, that is peak and true libertarianism. But the vast majority of libertarians today, I mean, honestly, it's a disgrace that they even call themselves libertarians, because they're not.
Right, but I mean, if you look at Ron Paul, though, I know he puts on puts on the face that he's libertarian, but is he really? I mean, if he was libertarian, I think that, let's just look at the parties in general. If there was really separate parties, whether it be Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, there were really different parties at all levels of government that were arrested and beaten daily. And there would have been for the last 100 years. But now we have people staying up on the Senate and House floor screaming that I'm a socialist Democrat. I mean, we're guaranteed a Republican form of government that is being for arrest right there. At minimum, impeachment. They're not doing it. So if you're talking about the political spectrum, like Ron Paul, I'm not sure I'm Ron Paul. Everything he said he was.
We had something that's coming up in chat that's pretty interesting. Since this kind of portion of the chat came up, I'm hearing a lot of a lot of people discuss the right and left, and I would love for you guys to touch on that, because so I'll share what I wrote. Left versus right is fake. It is a bifurcation of our country to cause a purposeful divide. That's my outlook on it. Not to say that that's truth. That's just my perspective. But what are y'all's thoughts on that?
You want to go first? opinion, and like I believe it's truth. But I mean, if you look at the facts, that the you go back and look at George Washington's farewell address, and when he talks about political parties in that address, it's just another illusion of choice. The more illusion of choices you have, the freedom that you will feel.
Someone literally just typed in the illusion of choice like a half of a second before you said that. That's nuts.
Right. Well, I mean, it's the truth, man.
Yeah, for sure.
They give you all these things like where you actually have a choice in it, so you still feel like you're free. Well, I can change it. I can vote. I have a choice between this party or that party. I can write a letter, whatever the case may be. So you feel like that's an option. But there's going to come a point in time where you're still going to have all these options. You're actually going to have more options. But you're going to be less free because of, every time they make you feel like you have another option, you're less free. And you can see every time, like look at today, people want to scream at Democrats about gun control. Unconstitutional or not, if you look throughout history, the most strictest gun control in history has been put into place by Republicans. But they still point at the left.
Reagan.
Yeah, let me look at gun control act under Johnson. You know what I mean? Like, the bump stock ban. You can talk about, the Democrats put in stuff too. It's just it's a show, man. It's swinging pendulum. I'll take the left, take the right, and you're really better. Like as a gun owner, you're better off if the illusion is all Democrats in office, because then you at least have a chance that the Republicans, in order to keep their seat next time, once you try to fight against that. But it's all bullshit anyway. They've taken something genuine and pure where everybody can be free and have an equal foot in the game, and they've turned it into this monopoly on force and violence in order to funnel money to the top. And we're all sitting down here with our illusion of choices running. I mean, look at the Georgia vote. They just got done saying that the election was stolen. They ran around and screamed it for a month. The election was stolen. The election was stolen. Now go vote in Georgia. Why do you guys go vote in Georgia? Because these two sentences mean something. It makes no sense whatsoever. Wasn't it, when Georgia was supposedly one of the states that had something to do with it? And I don't buy it at all. In my opinion, the election hasn't mattered in my lifetime.
Yeah, I agree.
Democrats, two seconds march in the same.
Yeah, now someone did say, though, just really quickly, someone did say, though, even though the left-right paradigm is false, right? It's fake. It is a, it's the curtain. There is definitely, clearly different, programming of the individuals that tend to represent those parties. And I think, sorry, go ahead.
Sometimes you have to ask yourself, do they know?
That's the thing. So what I was going to say is that so think of it like this, right? Like there's a lot of people refer, like if you watch so if someone rationalizes their position, right? If they state something that they believe in, and you ask them questions for them to rationalize their position out loud, a lot of times they don't know why they believe that. Typically it's something regurgitated or something that was programmed into them from, community, from family, from entertainment, or whatever.
All right, well, I've got an interesting question about this, because, like you said, it's all fake. It's just what team jersey you're wearing, and people are programmed. But my question is, when do you start holding people accountable for that? How do you hold people accountable, though? That's the question.
Well, especially for ignorance, right?
Well, I mean, there's things you can forgive.
We talking about politicians?
No, I'm just talking about regular people. Your family members that are.
Well, you can't today. You can't. They've created a system in order to grow that system, not necessarily to grow the people or even free freedom. I mean, look at, let's talk about the election process. People think the election was stolen. The election started stolen. Vote, but you Trump. So if you allow everybody to vote, you have so many people over here that are relying on your labor, so you going to work and work need to pay taxes so they can then draw welfare. And the person taking the welfare has the same vote that you do. What are they going to vote for every time? More welfare. More welfare. So if you look now, we have 4 generations of family members on welfare. Right. There's no turning back at this point. You can't fix it with the system we have. I'm sorry.
I guess by hold accountable, I mean, how far do you guys ignore it, and when do you sit down with people you care about and explain to them that this is a false economy you're putting, and these teams that are fake become real when you believe in them?
I just don't want to hear it because I'm so comfortable with their world beliefs. How the world is that it
pull people away from the status quo.
Yeah.
Any of you guys try it?
Those that have already understood the false dichotomy that is being created, right? They get it. But those that haven't, we're reaching a point where it's so clear and obvious that those that don't get it now will never get it. And you're literally wasting your time trying to change people's opinions, because what's really interesting is, when you look at from a biological perspective, okay, so we all know women, we all agree that women are more emotional than men.
Hold on, Red Wings, real quick, Red Wings. I just want to throw this out there, and I'll say this, to y'all and to everyone. We got, almost 50 people in chat. You guys are talking to a guy that voted for Obama for his first election.
Oh, God.
So if people can't grow and develop and wake up like that, I think you're cheating people out of. I'm sorry. I think you may potentially cheat some people out of the opportunity to wake up, because they haven't been told.
Did I respond to that in the realization you had out, or were you woken up? Like, did you start to realize the way things are in the world on your own, or?
I think it depends on the person, really.
But you also have to look at 2004 too, or when did Obama run? 2012. Oh shit, 2008.
2012.
Okay, so 2008, 2016 is very different than 2021. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, what was going on 10 years ago? A lot of the shit. If I'd have told you that moms would have been arrested in parks for having their kids play in 2016, what would you have told me? If I'd have told you in 2012, we'd be wearing masks around and have to wear a mask in certain places to go to certain places, what would you have told me? So, like, it's a completely different atmosphere now. And especially after the last year, especially after what people saying over the last year, that's why I'm just to the point. I'm just giving up, man. Like, I want to give you a great example of this. My thing is the police, because I look at the problem I have when it comes to government. There's a patch in the problem, and the problem being government. The patch. And no matter what that is, doesn't matter if it's taxation, doesn't matter if it's property tax, it doesn't matter if it's income tax, it doesn't matter if it's, no matter what it is, government rules through force. If you look at the history of governments, throughout the history of mankind, every atrocity committed on the society by their government has happened at the hands of who? The government's law enforcement. So people are willing to accept that law enforcement is bad in general, just because, how do you say this? Because they have self-reliance. Be responsible for yourself. So I don't need somebody to protect me. Because I don't need somebody to protect me, do I have a moral obligation to follow the orders of who you need to protect you because you can't protect yourself? Like, everything we know is a lie. I'm not being funny about that at all. And it's long, and it's hard to talk about, and people either now they've realized something's wrong, and they're willing to listen, or they're still arguing with you that and we need better paid cops with better training and all that mess. You know what I mean? Like, so I personally, I'm the most one of the most freedom people that I've ever seen talk. Just when I talk, I want you to be free. That's it. I don't care what you do. Just don't bother me, and we're happy. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you ensure your survival, and everything's good. But most people are like that. They not only they want the government to steal your money, so then they can give it to somebody else, instead of you just being able to give your money to that person. It just makes no sense. So I am personally, and that's why I'm taking a hiatus. I'm done arguing with people because I want them to be free.
So back to I guess the red pill moment that you had, Dark. But here's the deal. Based upon talking to different people, sometimes on the internet, sometimes in person, you have to. There are two groups of people. Well, actually, technically three. There are those that have the ability to be awakened. Okay, these are smart, intelligent people. Like you're a very intelligent person. You're blessed with the ability to see through the blinds and see the true nature of reality. Not everybody has that ability. I do believe that with the proper training, that a lot of these people that the slaves of the system, if you will, if they truly care, they could see the light. But the vast majority of people do not care. All they want to do is just play video games all day and smoke weed. Those are the type of people that you're wasting your time with, and they're gone.
Well,
okay?
I think the reason is because they don't have pain right now, right? They're not experiencing discomfort. The moment that, and this is the sad thing, right? It's like, the people that aren't awake, the people that don't understand, usually aren't going to take any action until it, is on their doorstep, until their neighbors are getting killed in their front yard. And
It's too late then.
yeah, exactly. It's too late. And what are they going to do? They're going to fall in and comply to whatever it is then. It may be, a mask. It may be a vax. It may be, snitching on your neighbors that, own firearms. It may, who knows what it would be at that point, but, likely they're going to fall in and comply. And it's those that are lost in this world of consumerism and comfort veiled as freedom, and it's a trick.
The problem is, how do you, so many people, this left-right paradigm, pivoting. Or my ex-girlfriend, I comment with very typical left, but took her out shooting. One of our first dates, this is fun. And I showed up, getting her weapons, buying her. She had her own business, doctor. She's like, wow, having a gun, I don't scared any work now myself, and that kind of read itself. That was the thing that opened the door. But I find there were so many, even though it there was things that's the family and upbringing, but moral identity was with Democratic Party or left. Very difficult to break through all that.
Now, were they materialistic in nature? That's another thing as well, because people that study, philosophy and ideas and ideals, I believe those people are able to be awakened. But people that just care about materialism and temporary pleasures, if you will, there's no.
But
yeah.
So yeah, I didn't catch that.
Family guilty for the choices of anything to do with not having government as your god, always relying on government for everything. That's just was so ingrained culture. So that's a common trait I see so many, hell, even people on the right. But I particularly see that with people left. I feel it's easier to get people on the right, red pill than those on the left for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys remember when we had Johnny B come on. He's still like actively a teacher, and he had said that every time that they did like group exercises with like the kids, they'd have to do like a project of some sort, um, and there was a problem for them to solve. Almost all of them came back with government providing a solution, or the state providing a solution, or taking money from, like, everything was lacking, them taking action and reliance on government to swoop in and save the day.
Funny you say that. I remember doing something like that in school, and of course I live in this hellhole of a country, Canada, and like everyone gave answers. Like, it was, what happens if the lights go out and it's like an apocalypse? Everyone was like, oh, we got to set up the super government, we got to like kill the rich or whatever, and it was just the most ridiculous things you could think of. And these guys were like high schoolers too. It's what? The education system has failed a lot of kids and just everybody in general.
Well,
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why it's failing people in the United States. It's because of this. Like here, when this country was founded, it was based on the individual. You could come to America and be anything you wanted. There was plenty of immigrants that came here with nothing, literally nothing, the clothes on their back, and they came here and they made something of themselves. But it's not about you anymore. It's about what? It's about the greater good. It's about everybody. It's not about individual liberty. It's about spreading the wealth so that everybody can live. People are unwilling to recognize that. I had a conversation with somebody a while back, and on my channel, it was a 6-hour-long live stream. It ran in circles the whole time. He kept talking about kid with Down syndrome. Now, I feel if two people lay down together and they decide to have a kid, they're accepting the responsibility for whatever child they have, whether the child be 100% healthy or have Down syndrome. So it's then on those people to raise that child, even if that child is raised its entire life. So it goes back to self-responsibility. Until people are relying on themselves and at least have some self-responsibility, nothing's going to change. It's only going to get worse. We're on a one-way path to destruction. It's going to implode on itself, at least here in this country. So, what is the real problem with government? And this is all governments. And nobody wants to talk about it because we've had it beat in our heads. And whether you're in Canada or the United States, you've had it beat in your head since you were a kid. The police are your friend. They're here to help. Call them if you get kidnapped. You know what I mean? But forces you to do everything. Who forces you into everything? The government wills on them. So politicians write a law. It takes them more men committed to moral act against moral people. And they're going for payment as a job, now it's a career. In this country, we were never supposed to have policing forces. People don't believe it because they can't see the world without them. How would it be? Well, people would be responsible for themselves. So how do you talk to somebody? If you have 2 hours to talk to somebody, how do you explain to them 2 hours when it comes to the United States that everything they know is a lie? When you say illusion, freedom's an illusion, or you have the illusion of choice, that's what you're saying. Everything we know is a lie.
Well, the first thing is, I don't think all police churches, obviously in the major cities, there are huge issues when it comes to leftist police officers. But I will say, and if you go to small towns, okay, the vast majority of police officers, I would say, are good people, and they are on society's freedom.
Jeffrey Dahmer was a good person to somebody. And no, they're not, because they execute every law that the state puts through. You think they're good people because
that's not true at all. No, it's not. That's not true. In fact, in Dallas, I'm from the Lone Star State, but the Dallas Police, I believe it was the DPD, Dallas Police Department. When they had the whole mask mandate thing. I'm sorry, this is the Houston Police Department or the Houston Fire Department. Hardly any of the police officers wore masks, even though they were.
It's okay, so that they did a good thing. They arrested felons for merely having a firearm.
Well, my point is, look, my point that I'm trying to make is that police officers, depending upon the jurisdiction, they don't always go along with all the crazy policies that the state legislatures make. There are instances.
Okay, I get that. I get that there's somebody wearing a uniform somewhere today that did something that can be considered heroic. The question becomes, would they have done it anyway without the uniform on? Did the uniform make them do it? And then number two, whose life has changed for the negative? Whose rights have been violated because of that police officer? Now, let's take a look at it. There was a, I think it was an Air Force dude, might have been a Marine in San Diego. The cops raided his home with a search warrant. They killed the dude because he shot a gun at them. Come to find out, it was at the wrong house. Now, I know that's just one. I know that's just one.
Was that in San Diego?
It was in San Diego.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, there you go. What?
The point that I'm trying to make is you can't you can make the same claim with the Minneapolis Police Department. You can be like, well, they killed Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd. Let's just get rid of the Minneapolis. Let's get rid of all police jurisdictions. Even though, no, that's a terrible idea. That's an absolute
Was you talking about the self-reliance a minute ago?
Pardon me?
Was you the one who mentioned self-reliance a minute ago?
No, I believe that was you, but I think there's a difference between, so there's a difference between self-reliance and freedom.
Do you believe in freedom?
I think the rabbit hole that you're going down is I would say it's kind of a slippery slope. So it's like, well, if you believe in freedom, does the military advocate for freedom? Of course not, because they have more power than we do. Let's just get rid of the military. Let's get rid of. I mean, that's kind of.
Let's make it constitutional. Let's do it. 100%. Let's do it.
That's a terrible idea.
It's not a terrible idea.
You've been get rid of the military. You open yourselves up. Okay, how about we get rid of ICE? Let's have that debate. Let's get rid of all borders and border control.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You know what would happen to the entire country?
Well, there wouldn't be as many people coming in because the people that own the land in the states would do what they want to do. See, right now there's federal laws saying that, they're just letting these people go. People need to put the power back in the hands of the state, and the only way to do that is to abolish the policing forces. There's no useful purpose for policing forces, and it's this simple. How are you free when government has complete authority over you?
I don't subscribe to the fact that all forms of law enforcement are. And you have to have some basic form of.
You do. The founders laid a plan out. They laid out a whole plan. Just
like I'm from Florida. There is not doxing myself here, not my county, but there's a county that's quite a ways north of the sheriff there called Sheriff Grady Judd. When all the rioting and stuff was going on, you can go look it up on YouTube. He basically came out and statement and says, the people of Polk County, if any of this crap goes on that you see going on in Minneapolis and everywhere else, people of Polk County, we have guns, and I'm going to inform all the people of Polk County that if any people come to your area, blow them out the door. Yeah.
Okay, so if there wasn't policing forces to enforce laws from the state that makes that illegal, which then puts something over your head to make you fear the state, why wouldn't that happen anyway?
I don't know, man.
It comes down to this. Here's what it comes to. It really comes down to this. How are you free when government has complete authority over you?
Well, and I'll jump in too and say that, when Freedom Inc. and I first met and we had this conversation, the first thing I said is, well, I disagree. I think part of me is like, okay, I can be self-governed. I can protect myself. I can be self-reliant. And at the same time, what about the little old lady, right? What about the, the people, like, what about others? So that's kind of like where my thinking was. Is that what comes to y'all's mind as well?
So I kind of want to reiterate what you're saying, that the path that you were going down. So if we were to abolish all police in the United States, would people go out of their way to protect the little old lady?
Depends. What people are you talking about? Are you talking about the welfare state that relies on you to ensure their survival? Are you talking about the moral two men that live on both sides, the old lady and the man that lives across the street?
There's not a lot of moral people in the United States anymore. I don't. Well, look, here's the deal. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you, okay? And I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but from what I've been hearing, it's okay. Here's the deal. I'm trying to say this in the nicest way possible, but it's almost like a psyop, okay? So the left obviously wants to abolish all police forces, okay?
No, time out. Hold on, time out. See, that's where everybody gets confused with me. I'm not left or right.
I'm not claiming you're a left.
Okay, now hold on. Now let me tell you what just happened here. Don't stop.
I'm about to finish my point instead of interrupting. But continue.
Okay, like you interrupted me. But go ahead. You're right.
No, continue. Go ahead.
No. You interrupted me 3 times a minute ago. You go ahead, sir. No, you go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
Let's do this. Let's Freedom. Let just to make sure that we're not like misclassifying someone's beliefs. Freedom, go ahead and finish, and then Red Wings, you finish your thought afterwards, if that's okay.
My personal beliefs are that I'm 100% pro freedom. You do what you do. I don't care what you do. Don't bother me, and everybody's happy. If we're going to live in a world where we are talking about there's problems with government, the left and right's the same. Everybody needs to have more self-responsibility. And the first thing I would say is, how are you free when government has complete authority over you? You're not. You're free to do what you're told. The slaves in the 1840s were free to do as they were told. This was a moral country founded by moral men, based mostly on a religion, and I'm not a religious dude at all. I would say that I am anti-religion as organized. Buying into that the police are good, here's what happens. And you can look this up. 80% of all crime is committed by the lowest 20% of the population when you're talking about economics. So the people that make the lowest 20% of money in the country commit 80% of all crime. We're extorted by our government to pay to ensure the survival of that lowest 20% that then commits 80% of the crime, that then justifies the police force in your mind because they're going to rob the old lady. So let's abolish the police forces. What's the first thing that'll stop? People's going to stop paying their taxes. The welfare state's going to fail. Yeah, it's going to be shitty for a few years. I'll be the first one to raise my hand and say that I'm probably not going to live through it. My 14-year-old, my 9-year-old is probably not going to live through it. But those who do live through it can then be free in the end. Like, if it's going to be about, we have to get back to a moral society, we've got to get back to where people are not sitting behind their games all day. Well, then they have to have a reason to do that.
I just have a question. What do you mean by the end?
Excuse me?
What do you mean by the end? You said it's going to be...
Well, there will come a point in time where the moral will outnumber the unproductive. So what you see happening today and why you see this big shift in the paradigm where now the left's rolling over, we're going to come closer into communism, leaving socialism behind, is because the unproductive now outnumber the productive. Why?
That's kind of what Red Wings was saying earlier, is that this is the point where the strong men are going to have to create good times again.
How are you going to do that? Because you're going to have government over top of you telling you what to do. You're going to have somebody with a badge enforcing that. And I'm not saying that every cop goes out and kills people on it all. That's not what I'm saying at all. Even if a cop didn't enforce one law, not one law, his very position is unconstitutional. And if you don't believe me, cite where we gave government complete authority over the people in the Constitution. It's part of the lie, boys. You're buying the lie. And we've all bought it. We've bought it for generations. Tyranny doesn't happen overnight. It takes centuries. decades, centuries, in order to make it happen. And it all starts with lies. Having the people comply with those lies, even beg for more government. And until people wake up and realize, you know what, I can raise my own food. I can take care of myself. I can provide my own security. I can help Nancy next door. See, Nancy next door is the 80-year-old lady. She serves the community because she has knowledge. That's her job. When I have an issue growing a garden, I can ask 80-year-old Nancy. That's why when 80-year-old Nancy goes to get robbed, I have skin in the game for keeping her well alive.
Right.
And you're looking at it as today. Like, we abolish cops today instantly, and it's going to be complete chaos. It's going to be Mad Max for forever. It's not how it's going to be. The people that are on welfare today, do you think they're going to bother going out and grow a garden? Hell no, they're not.
It's just hard to imagine in America where people are on the honor system, where your character is really your currency.
Okay. So let's abolish all rape laws today. You want to go start raping people?
Well, I see what you're getting at, but it's. Those 80% of criminals, they're still going to be around. You say they won't grow gardens. People are very tenacious and they're very tough.
I'm not saying they're not, and they will definitely try to rob and steal and whatever. But then, if there's no law saying that you can't kill somebody that's breaking into your home trying to steal your food, like there is in some states right now, you will go to jail. So like California, in some places, if they break into your house and you kill them, you're going to jail.
So hang on, we got an interesting comment here. This is it says, in an anarchist society, police will be privatized. Most apartment complexes would hire private security, so the area would be safer and people would be attracted to their business. And really quickly, just as a quick note on that, I used to spend a lot of time out in the city, out in DC, and that's kind of how it is. They basically have you have the MPD, right? You have Metro Police, and then each low income housing project has housing police there, right? So they actually have armed housing police privatized that are treated the same as the Metro Police are, but they're privatized police, privately hired, privately paid, and all that, but they're given the same authority, the magic authority.
Who gave them that authority?
Yeah, well, they're not a threat to freedom in the same way, are they? Because they're not. They only have, and unless you guys think they are. You guys think they are?
You apply for that. So you're going to have
private police. If they have authority over you while you're in your community, you think?
I think they're a bigger issue than government-funded police. Now, here's the deal. The quote, what Thirsty Colt said, that's actually kind of the topic that I want to get on a little bit, and in terms of the lie of anarcho-capitalism. So, first thing I want to say is, I wasn't accusing you of being a leftist in any way, okay, when I was talking about the abolition of police. I just want to get that clear. However, there is a growing number of people that subscribe to this kind of anarcho-capitalist idea of the government is the issue. It's all the government this, the government that. But if you're to actually take a look at it, the biggest issue is not the government. It's private corporations and NGOs specifically that fund the government. So think about it this way. So the vast majority of people in the House of Representatives and the Senate, they don't actually write their own bills. They don't actually come up with the ideas for their bills. In fact, it's actually third-party think tanks that kind of conceptualize and develop the ideological ideas that they put into the legislation on Capitol Hill. They're private entities funded by private corporations. And not only that, you don't see the government going out there and banning and destroying our First Amendment right to free speech. You see private corporations doing that. So when you abolish the police, you make way for this kind of anarcho-capitalist idea of what Thirsty Colt was kind of talking about was the police will be privatized, and that's actually going to be way worse than our our current issues right now. I mean, you could just take a look at Mexico. I mean, okay, here's the deal, right? So it's kind of like a yin and yang thing. So on one end, you can have like this super powerful government of individual, an incredibly powerful military-industrial complex, the FBI, the CIA, and all that. And then on the other side of it, you can abolish all of that, and you could be Mexico. Okay, in Mexico, the police and the government, they have no power whatsoever, and so you have the cartel running the entire government or running the entire country. And no matter how bad things may seem as of right now, I would rather have what we have right now than a privatized police system, which would be, kind of like, you could equate that sort of with the cartels in Mexico, if that makes sense.
I'm really glad you touched on that, when that's what I was trying to get at, but you said a lot more eloquently than I put it. But please look back up on anarcho-capitalism, government.
So how about this? How about you don't interrupt him?
And how about I couldn't hear him because he's cut out every time he talks, so I thought he stopped.
I could hear him fine. Hey, I could hear him fine.
Hey, that's great. I'm glad. That's awesome for you. I'm glad you could hear him fine. The first time he talked, he cut out the whole time for some reason. I don't know why, but he did. So I thought he stopped talking.
It was fucked up on my end, but I mean, it is what it is.
I thought he stopped talking. I mean, this is relax. Hold on, real quick.
Whoa, chill. We're having a civil, relatively relaxed. Yeah.
Both of you.
Guys, I think a cicada got in my gun room again.
Go with the shotgun before dark.
Yeah, I'm about to get the suppressed 22 out. We're pushing 2 hours, guys. I'm sorry, I gotta break. Any closing comments before we break?
I would if nobody else has anything to say.
The floor is all yours, sir.
Okay, so you talk about I can't even say it. So your position is that all these big corporations do this. Who put the regulations in place for the corporations to have that kind of power? Who takes the money for those corporations? The government does. The government forces it. The cops do. YouTube is not something they have certain status protected by the government. The Congress has had hearings on this, platform versus publisher. They've had like 10 hearings on this. They do nothing about it because the money is funneled to them. So the government's the problem in some way, right? I mean, if you're doing the government's problem, then you're pro-left or pro-right, whatever it is. That's one of the two. But if you look back at the left defunding the government, let's think about how this happened. If you remember at the beginning of the COVID scare, all the moms started getting it. Right was hardcore supporters of the cops. Hardcore supporters of the cops. They started polarizing the country. Then, when the moms started arrested, the right started back home. That's so much. And then magically, out of nowhere, after 10 years of being in existence, the BLM comes up with this radical defunding the police. And immediately, the right goes back to supporting them. And you wouldn't have privatized police forces. What you would have is if you could afford a security guard, you'd have one. If not, you would have to protect yourself.
Well, that's either is private. I make a comment for whatever you guys done.
Well, no, it's not. It's not a private security force. Your own security is not a private policing force. Having somebody protect you is different than having your security guard enforce their will on me. It comes down to, do you believe in freedom?
Well, it would be more of a liberty position, but there would be more of a anarchy outside of certain areas where we would have corporations that did hire their own private security that would enforce their own rules on it. That would be what happened. Case in point here, just one closing thing. What Amazon has done
just, I believe, today or yesterday, where they said that they're no longer going to fire people for marijuana failures. They're just going to treat it like alcohol. They're overstepping the Fed right now and proving that they can flex because they literally,
But they're not flexing.
they can do everything better than the Fed can.
They're not flexing.
They deliver mail better than the U.S.
They're not flexing. The federal government doesn't have the authority to create a law that can be enforced in a state. The federal government was never given the authority to create national sweeping laws. We just bought it.
They supplement that, though.
You're lagging a little bit, Lumi.
I couldn't hear you.
But they have.
You're lagging a little bit, Lumi.
Okay, so like if we're gonna play like this, the reality is, dude, let's just hand over everything.
My connection here is horrible.
Oh no, you hear me? Yeah, I hear you now. But let's just hand over everything. Let's just quit the conversation. Let everybody get on the phone with our representatives and say we need more welfare. Just go ahead and get it over with.
That's exactly it. Nobody's going to do anything about that. Nobody.
But that's what you're shooting for. I mean, like, what's the real topic? I mean, does it come down to do you believe in freedom? Do you want to be free?
Enough to face a fucking RICO charge, but nobody really is there to back me for that. So
why not?
I don't know.
Why is there a RICO charge? Why is there a RICO charge anyway? The federal government doesn't have the authority to.
Because if I start telling people we need to resist our government and they agree with me, that becomes a fucking conspiracy charge.
You don't have to tell them to resist. You just have to tell them not to comply.
I think his point is.
And then being their leader.
I think his point is that the RICO charge exists because of the police and fear of the police. The lack of non-compliance exists because of the police and fear of the police. Now, I'm not.
I can only not comply up until my death, and I'll go to that point. But that's exactly it. What is my death worth? It's not worth anything if it's just myself.
Hey, I don't disagree with that at all, man. I don't disagree with it at all.
But I'm willing to give that, and they'll prove it over and fucking over. I'd love to not have to bleed out, but the only way that I can actually prove that I'm willing to do it is stand out in front of some fucking group of cops and be like, you can't stop me until you kill me. Make them shoot.
So you just recognize the cops as the problem.
To earn it, you know?
So you just recognize the police are the problem.
I've always recognized it. It's the police, not me that doesn't. It's a lot of other people. Once you've been in a position to be the police or anything like that, you recognize it easily because you see it in yourself. You're like, oh shit, I'm becoming a monster. Or you don't like it.
Right, and I agree with you.
But I had the advantage of that position in life. A lot of people don't get it.
I've been telling people for years to stop complying. Been doing it openly.
Well, the only way, and this is something that, I've said.
They won't do it.
Who's that?
Love you too, David Cobb. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Really quickly, that's something that I've been saying for a while, even prior to the podcast, prior to the YouTube channel, is that laws, rules, and regulations only exist when compliance exists. And if you look at like prohibition, for an example, they could not control it because of mass non-compliance, right? So
amount of money. Do you think the House bill would influence their thinking any much about how much they've been lied to, Dork?
Possibly.
Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say? Like, most
Yeah.
people don't recognize how deep the lie goes. Like, I'm telling, like, when I say that the police are unconstitutional, like, I'm not. It's part of the lie that they're then leads to complete control. So Google New Hampshire House Bill 638, 2013. Just like this, New Hampshire House Bill 638, and then in parentheses put 2013, and read it.
And you guys, I'm sorry, I'm gonna jump, but you guys, thank you all for hopping on and like being willing to come on and talk on the stream. That's some big brass balls shit. So thank you all, y'all, and
Thanks for.
yeah, dude, hell yeah,
Thanks, man.
hell yeah, and
No, thank you very much.
hell
It's
yeah,
been a great discussion, actually.
yeah, man, we should do this more often. It should be like once a week. And I'm gonna cut the stream in a minute too, y'all. So thank you all.
Thanks, man.
All right, peace. That was an interesting conversation. Did you guys get any value out of that, or value, interesting thoughts, maybe triggered? Getting pro-freedom people together is like herding cats. Getting leftists together is like herding sheep. I know, it's the easiest thing. That's the challenge, man, and they've been programmed to react that way. But hey, David Kopp, brother, thank you. David Kopp, email me, and I got you. Everybody else, y'all, thank you for coming on. I know that, starting the conversation with, like the situation that happened with my daughter, it was kind of deep, and it was like, it's still kind of weighing on me. So, David, if you do it now, I'll still have like close to another hour. So, love you too, Space Texan. I hope your sister got some value out of this too. I will tell you that your sister is being exposed to like some of the truest shit that like anybody of a younger age can hear. And you guys know that as the channel grows, we're going to get, you guys know, this can only last so long. And so I may get a backup plan together. And the backup plan is not going to be getting another platform to host videos. So I have some ideas though. So thank you. So schedule, yes. So love you too, son. Typically the schedule is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9:30. Can't stop the signal, baby. Oh, and Crumpy, I got your printer to work. Now I'm just getting my settings done, and here, Crump, I'll show you this. It's, the bed isn't level, so it jacked it all up, but maybe this will raise some memories for you. This is my first print, and yeah, so so typically Tuesday, dude, this is my first printer. Like, thank God that John Crump gave it to me, and I literally have this spool of ish right there. It's a PLA plus in red because why not? Yeah, dude, I may have to change the bed because it's I don't think it can be leveled. So I may switch to just a literal plate of glass or a mirror. Yeah, I got the nozzle unclogged and all that. Hell yeah, Fairchild. Hey, you. It is a hobby. Like, I mean, you gotta like get this down. Like, if I didn't have somebody that had been printing for years and years and years walk me through, hundreds of settings and get my shit together, like, this shit is. It's not like when I think of like 3D printing, like prior to getting a printer and like starting to attempt to get this set up, my thought was get a printer, plug it in, pull an STL file, click print. No. Like, this is a hobby, dare I say it, it is a lifestyle. So it's something that I am getting into, and I'm just gonna learn. I'm just here to learn. I'm here to grow, develop, get better. Yeah, Control Pew. There's a lot of great places, but there is a secret. There's a secret place where I was added to a drop folder that is open source, that like these guys that have a 3D printing business and that have like straight freedom stuff in there, just open source, completely available, and they added me to it, and I can pull any file that I want at any time, even things like anti-raccoon devices. Crazy stuff. And follow all your local, state, and federal regulations, rules, laws, and all that stuff. Don't get in trouble, okay? It's not worth it. But, okay, back to the schedule. So typically, I go live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 9:30 p.m. With the holiday and stuff, it just kind of threw me off. I had some shit that I had to do to catch up on some, business stuff and some work stuff. And I got caught up on voice chat a couple nights, but hell yeah, free men don't ask. So aside from that, man, I'm here for you guys, man. You guys are the shit. Coolest fucking community I could ever ask for, and I'm grateful for all y'all. So thank you, and thank you for everyone that expressed concern and care for my daughter, and all y'all know that I love y'all, and the people that contributed to the channel tonight, man, love y'all. David Kopp hit me up. I'm free for about the next hour-ish. So happy to chat. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Be safe. Be dangerous. And care about people. Let me just say this before I end this. And I know I say this all the time, but I truly mean this, and I don't want it to be just like, oh, it's just something he says in jest casually. I truly mean this. Live a life of care, compassion, contribution. Care about others. Contribute to others. Give to others. Even when you don't have anything, you giving, by way of you giving, a hand that's open to give is open to receive. Remember that. And the biggest blessings happen in your life when you're giving. Care about others, value life, man, be kind, and just also at the same time, make sure you are the most dangerous motherfucker that you could possibly be. And that's it. Love y'all. Peace.